Okay. So again, the first thing that we have to do para sa books ni partner Kalumpang is to adjust the values of his assets, liabilities, and equities based sa ilahang nasabutan nga adjustments ni partner Bayabas. Now, again, we have to first adjust the values of the assets based ani nga mga adjustments. So, let me pull out my Excel. So, this is going to be our adjustments. No, for so the first adjustment is that si accounts receivable daw is to be realized only at 90%. So meaning sa 40,000 pesos nga accounts receivable ni partner Kalumpang, 90% lang daw ana ang atong collectible as of that date. Na ato lang sa i-compute una ang adjustments nga amount nga atong ibutang. So accounts receivable balance is at 40,000 pesos. So percent, ato siya i-multiply by the percent realizable rate. Realizable is only at 90%. No? So ang ato ang net realizable value is 40,000 times 90% is only at 36,000 pesos. No? So again, we have our net realizable balance, no, less our net realizable value, which is 36,000. So ang ato ang target estimated or target allowance for doubtful accounts is at 40,000 minus our net realizable value is 4,000 pesos, no? So our target allowance for doubtful accounts less ang current nga balance niya. So our target allowance for doubtful accounts is 4,000 pesos. Pero as of the date of their formation, ang balance ay ang allowance for doubtful accounts is only 2,500. So that's minus 2,500. So our expected increase in allowance is at 1,500 pesos. So our journal entry, adjusting journal entry for this adjustment is, of course, a debit to Kalumpang Capital and then credit to allowance for doubtful accounts at 1,500 pesos. To record fair market value for accounts receivable. Pwede ra na siya ingon ana, dili kay ta mag strict ana. Okay? So mao ni siya ang ato ang journal entry para sa adjustment number 1. Now sir, nganong ato mang gi-credit ang allowance for doubtful accounts nga ato man na siyang i-increase dapat? Now, kung inyuhang ma-remember sa atong table, katong rules on debits and credits, si allowance for doubtful accounts is a contra-asset account. Now, kung atong dapat i-increase ang contra-asset account, ato siyang i-record as a credit. Now, of course, kahibalo man ta, since ang ato ang ginabuhat ani is adjustments, no, prior to partnership formation, so tanan nato adjustments atong i-charge against Kalumpang capital or ang capital sa sole proprietor nga ato ang gi-adjust. Okay? So adjustment number 2. Adjustment number 2 calls for the accrual, no? Kinahanglan daw ta mag-accrue og interest nato, interest income atong i-accrue related sa notes receivable. Now, si notes receivable is at 50,000 pesos. Ang atong interest rate is at 8% and then ang ato ang interest will run from February 1 kung kano sa nato nadawat ang atong notes receivable until October 31. No, kay mao man na siya ang period kung kano saan nato dapat i-close ang books ni partner Kalumpang. Now, first is to compute interest, accrued interest. So kahibaw man ta nga ang interest is equal to principal times rate times time. No, mao man na siya ang ato ang simplified computation for simple interest. No, in this case, our principal is ang notes receivable balance nga 50,000. Notes receivable balance of 50,000. Our rate of interest is, of course, ang kaniyang gihatag diri nga 8%. And then ang time, no? Ang time is very valuable. Now, we have to compute time from February 1 until October 31 of 2018. So that's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So this is good for 9 months. So 9 months ang ato ang time or 9 over 12. Anong 9 over 12 man na siya? Now, ang atong interest rate nga 8% is usually expressed on a per annum basis, no, or per year. 8% per year. Pero ang atong i-compute nga interest is only good for 9 months man. So 9 over 12, no, 9/12 of our interest. Now, let us compute our interest. So ang atong interest is equal to our principal is 5,000 pesos. Atong i-multiply sa atong interest rate nga 8%. Atong i-multiply by 9 over 12. Oh no. So our accrued interest, no, atong principal is 50,000 man. So ang atong accrued interest is 3,000 pesos. Unsa may pasabot ani? Meaning on October 31, no, during sa time nga nag-close na ang Kalumpang sole proprietorship business kay himo na nilang partnership with partner Bayabas, no? On October 31, supposedly naa natay nadawat nga 3,000 pesos nga interest gikan sa atong customer nga naghatag nato og notes receivable. Pero as of that date pod, wala pa lang nato actually nadawat ang cash para ani nga interest. So as of October 31, this remains to be a receivable. No, naatay receivable. So ang atong adjusting journal entry of course is debit to interest receivable at 3,000 pesos. And of course, i-charge na to again to Kalumpang capital para sa adjustment also at 3,000 pesos. To record accrued interest on notes receivable for 9 months. Okay? So again, when preparing journal entries or adjusting journal entries during partnership formation, ang tanan nato nga mga entries should be charged to capital. No, kay ang capital man ni Kalumpang ang atong gina-adjust as of this point para makahibalo ta pila iyahang adjusted capital at the end of the formation. Okay? So don't worry, kani siya nga Excel file will also be uploaded sa ato ang group chat para naamoy basis when you review this recorded discussion. Okay, so let us now go to adjustment transaction number 3. Si number 3 is quite simple, no? As of October 31, ang balanse sa inventory ni Partner Kalumpang is at 22,500. Pero based sa ilang agreement, sa ilang valuation for its fair market value, instead nga 22,500, ang balanse na lang daw niya is supposedly 17,500 pesos. No, so natay adjustments of course nga dapat buhaton. Now, current inventory balance is at 22,500, tama ba? 22,500. So, versus its fair market value of 17,500. So, expected decrease in inventory fair market value, ang amount is 5,000 pesos. So atong i-decrease ang inventory balance with 5,000 pesos nga amount. So si inventory is an asset account. Sa atong rules, kung atong dapat i-decrease ang asset, atong i-record as a credit. So ang atong adjusting journal entry is of course a credit to inventory, no? And of course ang atong i-debit is ang capital account ni Kalumpang. The amount is 5,000 pesos. To record fair market value, to record adjustment in inventory fair market value. Adjustment number 4. So adjustment number 4 is also quite simple, no? Si equipment daw is under depreciated by 4,000 pesos, meaning na yung mga depreciation expense nga wala na record ni Partner Kalumpang sa iyang sole proprietorship business nga records, no? So kaning 4,000 ato ni siyang idugang diri sa 5,000 pesos nga accumulated depreciation. So si accumulated depreciation again is a contra asset account. So kung atong i-increase, natay idugang sa contra asset account, ato na siyang i-record as a credit. Now, atong diretsyon og adjusting journal entry kay wala naman tay kinahanglan adjustments nga i-compute. So our entry should be a debit to Kalumpang capital and then of course credit to accumulated depreciation kay dapat man nato siya i-increase. Amount is 4,000 pesos. To record adjustments in equipment fair market value. Adjustment number 5. Adjustment number 5 has 2 parts, no? Natay i-record nga prepaid expense at 2,000 pesos and accrued expenses at 6,000 pesos. Kay hibaw man ta nga si prepaid expense is an asset, so kung ato siyang i-record, ato siyang i-record as a debit. And si accrued expense is a liability, so ato siyang i-record as a credit. So first is atong i-record ang debit ni prepaid expense in the amount of 2,000 pesos. And then of course, atong i-credit of course si Kalumpang Capital pang Paris. To record, to recognize prepaid expense. No? And then on the other hand, si accrued expenses atong i-record as a credit kay ato man na siyang i-increase, no? So accrued expenses at 6,000 pesos. And of course, debit to Kalumpang Capital to recognize accrued expenses. Okay, so duha ato ang adjusting entry for adjustment transaction number 5. Nag-recognize ta og prepaid expense and nag-recognize po ta og accrued expenses. Now, nahuman na ta sa tanan adjusting transactions. So nabuhat na nato ang requirement number 1, journal entry for the adjustments. Okay? So number 2 is we have to compute for the investment of partner Bayabas. Now, ingon din after sa mga adjustments, si partner Bayabas is to invest cash to obtain a 1/3 interest in the partnership. Now, ang 1/3 interest ni partnership Bayabas is of course based on the adjusted capital also of partner Kalumpang. No, kay naa man tay adjustments diri nga gi-recognize. So ato na siya pud i-effect dito sa capital ni Kalumpang. Now, first off, no, this is requirement number requirement 1. Let's now compute for requirement 2. Now, sa requirement 2, again, ato i-compute ang investments or required investments ni partner Bayabas at 1/3 interest in the partnership. Pero before nato na siya ma-compute, ato lang sa i-compute ang adjusted capital ni partner Kalumpang. Now, adjusted Kalumpang capital. Now, ang unadjusted balance sa capital ni Kalumpang is of course kaning 205,000 pesos based sa iyahang balance sheet. So atong i-add ang mga credit adjustments, no? Kay of course si capital is a credit account man siya. Kung ato siyang i-increase, ato siyang i-record as credit. So atong unahon ang mga credit adjustments. So sa number 1, debit man na siya. So, dili na siya appeal sa credit adjustments. Number 2 is credit adjustment siya. So, atong ibutang dere is adjustment for accrued interest. So, ang amount niya is 3,000 pesos. Next, sa ato ang adjustment number 3, since debit man siya, so di na to na siya i-add. Sa adjustment number 4, gi-debit gihapon siya, so dili nato na siya i-add. Sa adjustment number 5, sa accrual gi-debit nato siya si capital, pero sa prepaid expenses nga pag-recognize ato siyang gi-credit. So adjustment for prepaid expenses. Ang amount ana is of course prepaid expenses 2,000 pesos. Okay? And then ato pod i-less ang mga debit adjustments, meaning ang mga deductions no from the capital para sa iyang adjusted balance nga computation. So ang first nga debit adjustment is of course ang kaning sa fair market value sa accounts receivable. Ang amount niya is of course 1,500. Ang next nga debit adjustment is on adjustment number 3 para sa adjustment sa inventory nga fair market value. Ang amount niya is 5,000 pesos. Ang next nato nga debit adjustment is on accumulated depreciation. Ang amount is 4,000 pesos. Ang next nato nga debit adjustment for capital is of course lastly ang kaning 6,000 pesos para sa ato ang accrued expenses. By the way, 6,000 na siya. Okay, so this is 6,000 nga debit adjustments. Okay? So atong i-compute ang adjusted balance sa capital ni Kalumpang. So ang unadjusted balance nga 205,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,000 minus 1,500 minus 5,000 minus 4,000 minus 6,000. So ang adjusted balance sa capital ni partner Kalumpang is only 193,500 pesos. Okay? So let us now compute for the required investment of partner Bayabas. Si partner Bayabas is to invest cash and to obtain an one-third interest in the partnership. Okay, so we have to compute here the one-third interest. Kalumpang. Those have partner Bayabas. Percent ownership or percent ship. If we are to compute one-third interest for partner Bayabas, no? So meaning, para mabuo ang 100% nga ownership for the partnership business, that means ang ownership ni partner Kalumpang is at 2/3 of the total capital. Now, if ang two-third interest is kaning adjusted balance ni partner Kalumpang, so we have to compute kung pila ang 1/3. Now, how do we compute that? Now, ang adjusted capital balance ni Kalumpang at 193,500, ato na siyang i-divide by 2/3 interest. So, 2/3. Okay? So, ang 100% partnership capital is at 193,500 divided by 2/3. So, this means nga ang total capital supposedly sa partnership business is at 290,250 pesos. Okay? So, if ang interest or ang ownership ni partner Bayabas is at 1/3, no? So, total partnership capital is at 290,250 multiplied by the 1/3 interest of partner Bayabas. Okay. So, ang total investments ni Bayabas during partnership formation is, of course, 96,750. 96,750. So, if we have to check this computation, no? So, ang total capital should equal to this, 290,250. So, 193,500 plus 96,750 ni Bayabas. Ang total capital is 290,250. So, we are correct sa atong computations. Meaning, ang dapat nga cash investments ni partner Bayabas para makakuha siya og 1/3% ownership in the partnership business should be equal to 96,750. So, mo ni siya ang answer for requirement number 2. So, partner Bayabas is to invest cash at 96,750 to gain 1/3 interest in the partnership business.